In 2017, Netflix made a decision that confused millions of users worldwide. They replaced their 5-star rating system with a simple thumbs up and thumbs down. Now, by this point, they had collected 5 billion star ratings. That's 5 and 9 zeros. An enormous amount of user data. Why do you think they would throw away something that seemed to be working just fine? And no, it's not because of the rumored controversy of a comic show that had really poor ratings. The real reason revealed something fundamental about user behavior. And if you are a UX designer, what I'm about to tell you will change how you think about user feedback forever. So let me set the scene. It's 2005 and Netflix is primarily a DVD rental company. The then VP of product, Gibson Biddle, he had one metric that he was obsessed about: retention. He wanted to make sure that users kept coming back and would not cancel their subscription. And so they came up with a 5-star rating system. And they had aggressive campaigns around this. The star bar, the star wizard. They also gamified the experience. This worked. Users were giving them star ratings, dozens per session. And that's how they eventually collected the 5 billion ratings I spoke about. But then Netflix noticed something really strange. Users were giving 5-star ratings to documentaries about geopolitical conflict, highbrow cinema, critically acclaimed films. Think The Shawshank Redemption. Stuff you're proud to tell your friends about. And they were giving 3-star ratings to comedies or mindless entertainment, the stuff you leave your brains outside the door for. But when Netflix compared the viewing behavior to the rating behavior, something didn't match up. The same users who were giving 3 stars to your Adam Sandler movies were actually binge-watching them over the weekends. And the 5-star rated content? That sometimes didn't even get watched fully. What was different? This is the gap between stated preferences and revealed preferences. It's one of the most important concepts of behavioral economics, especially if you're a UX designer. You can't afford to ignore this. Stated preferences is what people say. It's the stuff they claim in interviews, the things they put down in surveys, things that make them feel cultured, smart, virtuous. Revealed preferences is how they behave. It's what they do when nobody's watching. What do they click on? How long do they stay? What Netflix noticed is that the star rating reflected stated preferences and not real enjoyment. And what they needed to understand was what is it that people actually do and what brings them joy. So Gibson Biddle's team ran some A/B tests. That's classic Netflix. They compared the rating system to Facebook's thumbs up, thumbs down system. By then, the thumbs system was second nature to Facebook, and they had collected over 2 billion ratings. What Netflix noticed is that the thumb system gave them double the ratings. Something that simple worked brilliantly. Why is that? This is where psychology gets really fascinating. When you ask a user to rate something among 5 stars, there's a lot of cognitive load. They really have to go and think nuanced. How is 3 stars different from 4? What truly deserves 5 stars? But when you give a user the choice between thumbs up or thumbs down, it's very binary. It's a lot easier to make. And users adapt to it really easily. In UX design, we often mistake complexity for sophistication. We think the more options, the more granularity, the better the design. But in reality, simplicity always beats complete. Always. And for Netflix, this wasn't just about increased engagement rates. They made another change, which was quite simple but profound. Instead of showing a user the star rating, which they completely removed, they started showing the user a percentage match. The match depended on what you are likely to enjoy. So whereas a star rating will ask what people like objectively, a percentage match will ask what you are likely to view. And that worked because the same people who had given 5 stars for a Schindler's List or a Shawshank Redemption and had intellectually assessed it were the ones who, on Friday evenings, after a long day's work, would come and binge watch How I Met Your Mother. Netflix realized that movie ratings does not equal movie enjoyment. And this reframing changed everything about their recommendation algorithm. Here's a critical mistake almost all UX designers make. We worship at the altar of user research, focus groups, surveys, user interviews. We believe what users tell us, and we design according to that. But the truth is that users are really bad at predicting their behavior. They're even worse at articulating it. You ask somebody if data privacy matters, and they'll give you a very passionate speech about it. At the same time, they'll accept all cookies without even reading a word. Ask somebody how often they exercise, and they'll say 5 days a week. You check out their fitness tracker, it probably shows you twice a week. Users are not lying. They truly believe what they're telling you. It just so happens that human behavior is a result of a million subconscious factors that we aren't even aware of. And the Netflix case shows us that it's more important to observe behavior rather than opinion. This pattern repeats itself everywhere in tech design. So what does this mean for your work as a UX designer? Here's 5 tips you must include the next time you're thinking about user research. Number 1, always triangulate your data collection. Never rely on one source, not on that one interview or on that one survey or focus group. Couple this with analytics, because interviews will tell you what users say and analytics will show you what users do. If you find that both are conflicting, trust their behavior. Number 2, reduce cognitive load wherever possible. Every action a user needs to make is using up their mental energy. So when Netflix went from 5 choices to 2, it actually doubled the engagement. Ask yourself, are you making a user think where in fact they should just be feeling? Number 3, measure the right things. Netflix did not measure rating quality. They measured the number of ratings collected and the viewing frequency. Your metrics should be measuring the actual behavior and not some self-reported user satisfaction, because that's often inaccurate. Number 4, question the sacred cows. Back in the 1990s, star ratings were a fixture everywhere. Amazon had it, IMDb had it, but Netflix actually stopped and asked, does this serve our goal? Sometimes industry standards is just industry inertia. Try to break out of it. And number 5, embrace the messy reality of human behavior. I know I'm repeating myself, but please remember, users will say one thing and do something else. What's your take on the debate of stated preference versus revealed preference? Have you noticed this pattern in your UX work before? Drop a comment below. And if this video changed how you think about user research, give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and also check out the Insight Advantage Masterclass. It's a self-paced program that I take, which teaches you how to develop the superpower of observing non-obvious insight. It's not just that, we have a lot more courses on design and innovation. The links are in the description. I hope you enjoyed this. Now go design something that serves what your users need versus what they say they want. See you next time.